think all different fields all different stuff. Okay. Oh, the mics are on? Okay, thanks. Yeah, no, I think it's still moving. Yeah, then they lost all four installations. As a matter of fact, the show, they had a bunch of kids staying in there. Hey, Tom. How you doing? Nice to relax. Get the microphone. I
couldn't find it.
It's casual.
I don't want it. Is that right? You got some mic in there?
No, I looked for it. I couldn't find it.
What's that? Yeah, is that his parents? Yeah.
Where was it?
It was up here. And batteries. Double D's.
Hey Tom, oh, I called you today. I thought you were out. I was trying to pay Sarah's bill, her tax bill.
Fine, how are you?
No, I paid it online. So, okay. Because it didn't say.
And you can call the office to verify the payment tomorrow, because tomorrow is still within the collection.
So I paid it on your
All right, how you doing?
Yeah.
That should be okay.
Yeah, and the 23rd is the extension date, so
That
tomorrow.
was vacation. No, I didn't have a real vacation.
Okay.
The other vacation I had, I
Some of
went
that will
to
be
clean
subject
our
to,
office in
Well, it has the total on there. What was
yeah,
passed
but
due.
whatever was passed due,
the
yeah,
older one.
it already has it.
She did. And so the only reason that's what I did my second one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what a mom. I know. What a mom, what a mom. Hey, how are you? I have to make that phone call. I have to set up a hearing. Hey. Yeah.
Got it from me. That's what it was.
I could try. I have to. They're supposed to get in touch with me. What's up?
Good, thank you. Enjoy the nice weather in the background. We're at the, we got into the game ball at the River Church yesterday.
Just in case. Thank you.
Hey, Ray, how are you? We're up here all day. How you doing? Good.
Not could be hours.
They can. Can you grab that microphone stand? Take the microphone stand. You take the microphone off it. I'm going to get the cord more.
He wants to stand in front.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, these get portable. You don't need portable. Okay. Portable. Thanks, Ben.
Hello, lovely. How are you? I'm sure it's doing as good as you can. And you get some time to yourself.
That never happens.
Yeah, there you go.
Then I have a grandma that's very serious about
Yeah, that's great.
I'll work on it.
You got pens now too? I don't know. You don't smile on your face, I might come.
how well cars are doing. Sorry, but
I was in the back.
Be special. Don't mess with it. I bought my own battery. That's when I left it on.
That's when I left it on. I'm sitting on the top.
What I'm going to do is the battery in my freezer.
Yeah. I have it. All right, well now I know you have it.
Yeah. Mr. L, how are you? Good.
Marlene's just on vacation.
Call meeting to order. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Please remain standing for the invocation by Deacon Pete Schumacher of Our Lady of Hope. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I don't think he's
Since Deacon's not here, we'll This regular meeting of the Township Council is being held in accordance with the schedule of meetings of the Township Council established and adopted by the Township Council, which schedule designates this time, date, and place of this meeting. Adequate public notice of this meeting has been provided pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act. We're using electronic amplifier and recording device in order to obtain audible and clear record. We request all those wishing to speak to be recognized and state your name and address directly into the microphone. Recording device to be solely utilized by the Township Clerk's Office shall be the official record of Township Council meetings. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Evans? Mr. Hutchison? Mr. Gorbowski?
Here.
Mr. Schmidt? Yes. Mrs. Gentek? Here. Mr. Mercado?
Mr. Mercado is on vacation.
Mr. Bianchini?
Present.
Mayor? Here. Mr. Moffett?
Present.
Mr. Lechner?
Here.
Chief Earl?
Here.
Mr. Carlemere?
Here.
Mr. Cardis?
Here.
We have on the agenda a resolution to go into closed session. However, we do not have a need to go into closed session, so that resolution will be pulled. Is there anything special?
No, that's fine. That announcement's sufficient.
We have presentations, Mayor.
No. Here.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What we wanted to do briefly today is to acknowledge some of our interns that have been participating, working here at the Municipal Hall for free, in essence, while they're gaining their college credits or gaining experience. An internship program, I feel, is extremely valuable for the participants. Number one, they're learning what it is like in a real government setting, to learn what we do day in and day out. And number two, it also shows that they have initiative, that they are individuals that will are willing to take of their time to learn and not only get credits perhaps at their schools that they're attending, but more importantly to learn about maybe areas that are of interest to them. Internships are very special to me because I started as an intern, not really knowing what I wanted to do, what I wanted to do next, or how as I was going through college. But an internship provided me the opportunity to learn a great deal about government, and I believe I'm here today because of the foundation that I had through an internship program. So at this time, I'd like to call some of our interns who are here this evening forward. Since we started this program a little over a year ago, this is the first time we've done it in Gloucester Township, and since we started this program, we've had 23 interns participate, and we have 2 more that are starting. Again, they have been an instrumental part in helping us achieve some of the requirements and goals that we have. But hopefully, just as important, they have learned a great deal about how government works. The interns are placed in various offices, whether it is our police department or court or public works or the mayor's office. We try to cast it so that they are doing stuff of interest to them in whatever they're thinking about for their future. So, on behalf of the council president and our council and myself, I just want to thank all of our interns for what they have done in working here in Gloucester Township. And again, we hope that you have certainly enjoyed that experience. So if I could bring up Brian Johnson, Matthew Jefferson, Jordan Frenzini, Tom Pinolini, Eric Henry, and Regina Caristo, please, to come forward.
I got one intern here. Are these the ones that are?
No, the ones that are open.
Oh, the ones that are open. You did tell me that.
Some of the, they all get different projects to work on, and some of the interns, Regina is a public relations major, and she put together a very nice video for our police department that they use now on their community outreach, and a variety of other projects they have worked on. And so again, we really appreciate what you do. We certainly hope that you are getting something out of that internship program, and it's something that we're going to continue to do here in Gloucester Township. So thank you so very much for all that you've done. Thank you. Danielle, if I can ask you to please join us here. Danielle Caparelli and her sister-in-law contacted me about a month ago concerning ovarian cancer month that is in September. And they have a program where they're going to be putting out, as a reminder to this deadly disease, some teal ribbons throughout Gloucester Township. And so what we wanted to do today is proclaim September as ovarian cancer month, and our council president will read the citation. But I want to thank Danielle and your sister-in-law, or your sister-in-law, right? Your sister-in-law for bringing this to our attention, and thanks for your commitment to educating the public about this disease. And so with that, Glenn, if you could please read the proclamation.
Whereas the Township of Gloucester declares the month of September Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month in honor of the Sandy Roman Ovarian Cancer Foundation, and whereas the Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month primarily aims to notify women and their loved ones of the dangerous and often deadly nature of ovarian cancer, which is known as the silent killer due to the potential absence of symptoms or the presence of mild and subtle symptoms during the early stages of the disease. And whereas acknowledge the testing and treatments of ovarian cancer should be made readily available to those at risk of contracting the cancer, as ovarian cancer is the 5th leading cause of cancer death among women and is the leading cause of gynecological cancer death in the United States. And whereas ovarian cancer touches many people and forever changes the lives of those it affects, as 22,000 people are diagnosed with the disease and 16,000 die as a result of it every year. And whereas awareness is paramount to the successful treatment of ovarian cancer, as the survival rate is over 90% if the cancer is detected in its early stages. And whereas the nonprofit Sandy Roman Ovarian Cancer Foundation, Inc. was started in memory of Sandy Roman, who passed away from advanced ovarian cancer at the age of 33 by her nurse, Robin Cohen, and her sister, Adriana Way. And whereas the foundation's main aims are to raise awareness of ovarian cancer, advocate for early diagnostic testing and more effective treatments, and raise funds to advance ovarian cancer research, and will publicize the cause by tying teal ribbons on Gloucester Township trees during September. Now therefore, I, David Mayer, Mayor and Council of the Township of Gloucester, do hereby declare support for the Sandy Roman Ovarian Cancer Foundation's Get Real with Teal campaign and proclaim September as Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month.
One of the initiatives to kick off this September's recognition is on September the 1st. I believe Danielle and her sister-in-law and a group of people are going to start here at the Municipal Hall and tie ribbons on the trees out front and then in our parks. So if anyone is interested in helping and volunteering for that, it is September the 1st at, what time did? Around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we certainly would look forward to your participation in that. And again, thank you, Danielle, and your sister-in-law for your help with that. Thank you.
public portion. Anyone wishing to speak on any agenda items only, please raise your hand and come to the microphone. Seeing no hands, I close the first public portion. Proclamation.
Whereas the Township of Gloucester, in conjunction with the Senate of the United States of America, expresses compliance with and support for the cessation of work for a moment of remembrance beginning at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on September 11, 2011, in honor of the 10th anniversary of the terrorist attacks on September 11, 2001. And whereas hijacked American Airlines Flight 11 crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center in New York City, New York at 8:46 a.m., followed moments later by hijacked United Airlines Flight 175 crashing into the South Tower of the World Trade Center at 9:03 a.m. And whereas a third hijacked plane, American Airlines Flight 77, was flown into the west wall of the Pentagon at 9:37 a.m. And whereas United Airlines Flight 93 was hijacked and redirected but crashed in a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, when the passengers aboard attempted to regain control of the plane from the hijackers and prevent the terrorists from reaching their destination, heroically sacrificing their own lives to save countless others. And whereas almost 3,000 innocent souls perished as a result of the aerial attack on our nation and the subsequent collapse of both North and South Towers of the World Trade Center. And whereas the casualties suffered by the volunteers, first responders, emergency personnel, and public workers were great in number, including 343 fatalities within the Fire Department of New York, 37 fatalities within the Port Authority Police Department, and 23 fatalities within the New York Police Department. And whereas the residual effect of the attacks on many citizens' health, sense of security, and psychological well-being is grievous and lasting, forever reminding our nation of the great pain, suffering, and loss that began on September 11, 2001. And whereas the events of September 11, 2001 shall never be forgotten. Now therefore I, David, Mayor, and Council of the Township of Gloucester, do hereby declare a moment of remembrance beginning at 1 p.m. on September 11, 2011, and lasting for 1 minute, in which it is suggested by the Federal Government Senate Resolution 237 to be observed by ceasing all work or other activity and marking the moment in an appropriate manner.
Minutes.
Waive the reading and accept the minutes of the August workshop.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second?
On the question, roll call, please.
Mr. Hutchison?
Yes.
Mr. Grabowski?
Yes.
Mr. Schmidt? Mrs. Gentek?
Yes.
Mr. Bianchini?
Yes. Now have an ordinance of second reading. This ordinance will have a public hearing. Ordinance O-11-19, an ordinance to amend Section 7 of Ordinance 03-36 for the Township of Gloucester, which authorizes various general improvements set forth in the 2011 capital budget. This ordinance will allow the Township to add drainage improvement projects for Grand Avenue and Little Mills Road. We'll now have a public hearing on this ordinance. Seeing no hands, we close the public hearing. Motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second?
On the question, roll call, please.
Mr. Hutchison?
Yes.
Mr. Grabowski?
Yes.
Mr. Schmidt? Mrs. Gentek?
Yes.
Mr. Bianchini?
Yes. Now have resolutions of consent agenda. Any council person wishing to remove any of them, please let me know now. I have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second?
On the question, roll call, please.
Mr. Hutchison?
Yes.
Mr. Grabowski?
Yes.
Mr. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mrs. Gentek?
Yes.
Mr. Bianchini?
Yes.
253, resolution appointing Register of Vital Statistics in the Township of Gloucester.
As the resolution states, this is a resolution to appoint a registrar of vital statistics in the township. Motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second?
On the question, roll call, please.
Mr. Hutchison?
Yes.
Mr. Grabowski?
Yes.
Mr. Schmidt? Mrs. Gentek?
Yes.
Mr. Bianchini?
Yes.
254, resolution appointing Assistant Municipal Clerk in the Township of Gloucester.
As the resolution states, the township will appoint Nancy Power as the Assistant Municipal Clerk in the Township. Motion to adopt.
Oh, second?
On the question, roll call, please.
Mr. Hutchison?
Yes.
Mr. Grabowski?
Yes.
Mr. Schmidt? Mrs. Kintek?
Yes.
Mr. Bianchini?
Yes. Mayor's report?
Thank you, Mr. President, members of council. Good evening. I'll be brief this evening. I just want to again acknowledge our interns and the work that they have performed for us. I have great expectations of this program. I don't think there are too many municipalities around that offer a structured internship program, but it is not only beneficial to our governing body here, but it's also beneficial to the individuals that are performing those internships, and I do again thank them very much for that. We read a resolution earlier regarding September 11th, and certainly for those of us who remember that very tragic day, it is a day we will never forget, and certainly we should take time during that day to reflect and to remember those who lost their lives, and to remember that we are still fighting a war against terror. On that note, on September 11th, I'm proud to tell you that we will be having a September 11th ceremony beginning at 8:15 a.m. On Sunday morning down at the Chews Landing Fire Company. Last year, I had the opportunity to go up with the Chews Landing Fire Company and the police department, and we retrieved a piece of the beam, or a beam, that was from one of the World Trade Centers towers, and that was such a very moving event, a very moving time to go up to JFK Airport and see all the debris that was gathered from the September 11th attacks that are in 3 airplane hangars at the airport. Very moving experience, and it's something that we should be proud to have here on display in Gloucester Township to show that our community will never forget and certainly remembers all those who were killed on September the 11th. So September 11th at 8:15, beginning at 8:15, is going to coincide with when the airplanes hit the World Trade Centers, and we'll be having a very nice ceremony where all our fire companies and our police department will join with the citizens of Gloucester Township to pay tribute to those that lost their lives. And then, of course, lastly, just remind everyone we have the Blackwood Farmers Market in downtown Blackwood every Saturday. We have various green initiatives now. In fact, a new green team to read books to children that are visiting that area as well. So thank our green team for that, but please keep in mind the farmers market. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. We have no GTE Gov questions. We'll go to the second public portion. Anyone wishing to speak on any subject, please raise your hand. Come to the microphone. Yes, sir. Ma'am, either one.
I'll go first. Good evening to all.
Good evening.
Council, I'd like to address this to Mr. Mayor, please.
Can you please tell us your name and address?
My name is Alice Guineri with a G, and I live at 515 Loch Lomond Drive.
Okay, address the question to me, and then we'll talk to the mayor.
It's basically, it's for him.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Mayor, I've had 2 meetings with you in your office, if you remember. One was 2 springs ago. And one of my main concerns was one of your committees you were going to create was maintenance committee for absentee landlords. So far, I haven't seen anything with that. We have distressed properties in our neighborhood. Landlords move tenants in and out without putting one dime into any of their properties. My thing is, you asked me to have patience. I've run out of patience. I have seen nothing. Nothing has changed from 2 springs ago. And I feel code enforcement has not done anything to help this community, and I do speak for the people of Loch Lomond. Yet, code enforcement hasn't done anything for our community to step up to the plate to correct these problems. And I know that you were trying to implement some project to make sure that these were inspected to be up to code, and I haven't seen that as of yet.
So we've done 2 things. As you know, we've met on a couple of occasions. We have done 2 things. One is the Quality of Life Committee that we have formed, which has never been done before, where we put brought together, so I explained to you the different departments, whether it's police, code enforcement, zoning, and our public works department. And we addressed a multitude of issues every Wednesday that has worked very, very well. Code enforcement has been out on your road. In fact, they've been out recently on your road. There's a list of violations. We track those violations. You have to keep in mind that there is a procedure that everyone has to go through. So I can't just go and make you do whatever I want you to do. What we do is we have a citation that is issued. Then that individual comes before the court. And there is that process that we have to go through. So you're not going to see immediate results when you call code enforcement because there is a lengthy process that because of property rights and property laws that we are subject to, that we will follow, and we certainly follow them. We look at every single issue that comes in, and we do our best, whether it's code enforcement or it's public works, to address all of those. So we did that as our first thing. The second thing is the rental program that you discussed. You've actually seen something happen with that. We did pass, and council did pass a resolution and an ordinance that would allow us to do that. We're now in the process of figuring out how to implement it. It's not an easy process to do. We have, 6,000 rental properties in Gloucester Township. We want to make sure we do it right. We don't want to make mistakes. We don't want to initiate a program that is going to be a failure. So we have taken steps to do that since we've last spoken. Don't want you to think that has not, we have not done anything, because we have. And we continue to do things. Improving the quality of life for all of our residents has been very, very important to me. And I think we've done a good job with that. And we'll continue to work hard to address those concerns.
But the people who live on Loch Lomond has not seen any change at all with distressed properties. And this is what I'm saying. 1 year has went by, and we're getting very frustrated.
Well, I can tell you there is a series of code violations that have been issued.
Okay. Council, may I also address my next comment to the Chief of Police?
Sure, ma'am.
To the Chief of Police is his dispatch attitude. I've been in my neighborhood for 29 years. I've worked with code enforcement, I've worked with crime prevention, and I am Neighborhood Watch. My problem is I have a code that crime prevention gives me. That's not good enough anymore when I call. They need my name, my address, my phone number, my life history. By the time I give it to them, the situation goes in hand. Also, when I call out, this is what I get all the time. Well, we'll get an officer out there as soon as we can, but there's an emergency. You might have to wait. You can't have an emergency every time I call. It gets very frustrating. And by the time they come out, which may be 20, 40, an hour, hour and a half later, maybe the disturbance is dispersed. And then they think, well, we called them out for no reason. We need more expediency with this.
Well, this is where, as you know, all of us are recorded. So if you have an issue with the dispatcher, I encourage you to either call my office. I know you communicate with Sergeant Barton often, and we'll review that tape and listen to it. We can play it back almost instantly and see exactly what that conversation was. So certainly, if you've had that occur, we would want to know about it. But timeliness is important. If it happened yesterday, we want to know about it the next day so we can play it back right away. That's important. And in terms of expedience, all of our calls are tracked. And if you have a concern about the way or the time manner in which a call was answered, we want to know about that, of course. But there are emergencies that occur, and calls are prioritized based on the need.
Oh, I understand that, but it just baffles me that every time that I call, they give me the same thing. You can't have an emergency every single time I call.
Right. Well, honestly, the dispatchers are trained often to inform the caller, really as a national standard, that they are informing the caller that there could be a delay in their response for non-emergency calls, just because research has shown that usually calms the caller and makes them understand that there are other emergency calls that may need to be answered. So they're really following their training, but I really encourage you to be satisfied. The police call and report to them.
And I am correct, because I worked with John Stolzheimer, and I go far back as Bill Hustis and Kenny Morris, fantastic people. And they taught me a lot of things on how to handle different crimes and how to watch things in the neighborhood. And that's why they gave me the code, to keep me more anonymous and to protect me. Because I know once my code goes to crime prevention, they know who I am. And the thing is, why isn't that good enough when I give my code? Is it, or am I wrong?
No, you are correct.
Okay.
Commonly, the dispatchers will ask for the information, but once you provide the code, that should be sufficient. And again, if you've had something different, then we want to know about it.
Okay. Thank you to all.
Thank you.
Address Council. My name is Michael A. Winery, 515 Loch Lomond Drive, and I'd like to let my first couple questions to the Chief of Police.
Yes, sir.
We have a parking problem on Loch Lomond Drive. There's cars parked on sidewalks, lawns, and there's plenty of parking in the neighborhood. Your police officer said they gave a ticket out one day and the people were mad. Well, let me tell you something. Cars are parked sideways, backwards. I thought the cars all had to be parked the same way. I didn't know a car could be parked all over the sidewalks. You can't even use the sidewalks. I didn't know cars could be parked all over the lawns. But yet, your police department failed to correct this problem. They won't ticket any cars down there, and the problem is growing and growing. It's only a 2-bedroom townhouse community. There's people down there with 4 and 5 cars. That's not my problem. We can't even get out of our driveway in the morning because you can't see down the sidewalk. There's cars parked right behind their driveway, and somebody's going to get hurt. Just like the police department won't enforce 50 kids on bicycles in the street with no helmets. And the last time I had a meeting with the mayor, he told me that they were trying to give out free helmets. Well, I'm not too concerned about the free helmets. The law says, I understand Title 39 gives the police the discretion, but this is bad discretion. You got kids coming around the corner, cars are parked under stop signs, you can't see down the street. One child's going to get hurt one day, and I'm going to hold council and the chief of police and the mayor responsible because this has been going on for years, and I can't understand if it's the law why it's not enforced.
In response, I guess, to certainly both issues, I'm well familiar with the parking issue with the sidewalks. Even myself at the time prepared a training bulletin probably 5 years ago about that. And we've had a variety of officers make patrols and do some enforcement action. Some residents even coming out and congratulating the officers for that enforcement action. But this is the first time that I've heard a complaint that we haven't been doing that. And again, if you're dissatisfied with that, we'll research the amount of times that we patrolled that area, which I know is quite frequent.
But isn't it against the law to park on the sidewalks, park on the properties? We had a whole road burned down because the car was parked right against the screen door of a house. And somebody threw a bomb that caused that whole 8 units to be caught on fire. If the police would have did their job, the car wouldn't have been parked right at the door. It could have burnt that whole community down. And that's one issue. The other issue that I have is for the mayor. Can I address the mayor now?
Yes.
If you're here to serve the community, I know 20 years ago we had a 4 10-hour workday, Monday through Thursday. Now, I don't understand why it's not a Monday through Friday, 5 8-hour days. Most of our problems occur on a Thursday night or a Friday, and you know when you call the police department or you call anybody down at the township, what do you think our response is? Call back on Monday. Well, that don't do me no good when there's problems on Friday. Call back on Monday. And I think this office, and I think that if you're going to serve the community, everybody else's jobs is 5 8-hour days or more. I think this office should be open 5 8-hour days. And I think it's good for the community, it's good to be there. But you can't leave on Thursday afternoon, and I got to wait till Monday when I have a problem.
Yeah, Mr. Ranieri, I've been mayor a year and a
I
half.
understand.
So, the reduction of the hours was prior to my administration. On day one, when I walked into this municipal hall after being sworn in as mayor, I had all the employees in here. And I said to them that if it was up to me right now, today, I would have a 5-day work week. What we have done over the last year is settled 6 labor contracts in a very fair way, which is unheard of because last time it took 3 years to do. And now we're working on trying to expand those hours. I've met with our construction office, our community development office. We spoke about expanding, the inspectors and things like that on the weekends. I think the tax office, we need to take a look at that. Some of the things that we're trying to work out and achieve. I think you're misleading folks when you say that when you call the police department, they're not there. We're 24/7 in our police department. So
No, when I call the police department, and if it's something that has to do, you can't have people putting their trash out all over the street on a Friday night, and then I got to wait till Monday, and by the time code enforcement comes out, it's past Wednesday and the trash is picked up. It's disturbing to see it out there 24/7 every day of the week. That's what I meant when I call the police for an ordinance and they say it's part of code enforcement. They don't want to get involved. They don't want to get involved in that particular thing. And when you talk about labor disputes, I'm retired 20 years from the United Fruit and Commercial Workers Union, and I represented every one of these supermarkets in these towns and in this township. ShopRite, Acme, I know every member in there, and I retired on good graces, so I understand the labor agreement. But unfortunately, you still got to work and you still got to take care of the community. So when you sit down and you negotiate a contract, it's got to be 5 8-hour days. I understand what happened 20 years ago, but we got to move forward. You should be there 5 days a week. At least we can get a call in on Friday. Because once Thursday afternoon at 4 o'clock, you try to get a phone call through.
You can, I'll give you my cell number, or you can email me if you have an issue. I'm certainly there and available. I've been available for our residents. We are working on trying to expand those hours. But again, if there was an emergency or something like that, you certainly call our dispatch and they'll be able to respond.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Glenn?
Aaron Gladden, 44 Greensway. I'm driving around town. Sorry for the way I dressed. I had football practice, so I coached that. There's been a pothole around my corner, Coles Road. I know it's a county road. I'm going to hear that, but I've been hitting this thing for 7 months now. I yell at myself for hitting it because I know it's there, but I don't want to go head on with the traffic coming the other way. So, what is going on with the roads departments in town? And another thing, our youth. I have my kid in baseball. I have my kid in football now in town. Last year he played for Belmar. This year he's playing for GT. We are not extending enough help to our youth organizations. I mean, it's like, you know what I mean? You're like, okay, these guys run it here. When they have problems, and all they want to do is teach the kids. They want to teach the kids, you know what I mean? Make sure they're not a problem. You know what I mean? Football, we teach discipline. And we're losing our kids. There's not enough. We got to start giving a little bit more in that area in the youth department. I mean, because for a township this size, nothing's getting done right. Back Blackwood Kiwanis Field, my one kid was climbing up and down a hill. They had wires sticking out of the hill. You know what I mean? And it's a shame to sit there and go to a sporting event with your kid and with the taxes you pay, and you're like, your head's down. There's nothing we can do. I mean, we are all failing our kids. I just let you know that. And we need your help. And everybody's got to start stepping it up somewhere. I mean, Public Works, I mean, Lanny, you're a great guy, but you got to step up. You got to. I mean, the grass is growing on the curb lines. I mean, when I was a kid, we had a program with youth, okay, where we hired all the youth in town. And we had a couple, mentors that worked in the Public Works, and they would go out and they'd paint the curb lines, and they would pull the weeds, and they would make sure the town was good. I drive down one street, you got half the road broomed to the side of the corner. So now you can't even walk, trip, you can't even ride a bike down the road, some of these roads, because the way the potholes are. I mean, come on. I don't know where the money went. I don't know what's going on. Can we order some cold patch? Can we fill some of these potholes? Can we get some stone in there? Do something. Come on. Pick it up a little bit.
Hey, Darren,
Thank you and have a nice day.
can I ask you a question, please?
Yes, sir.
You said there was a pothole and that's on Coles Road?
You want to go out and ride around the town with me? I mean, honestly, if it's going to take this, I will ride around with the mayor right now because I called him today and I can't get an answer back. And I know he makes a good part-time salary job, so when he's on the clock, give me a call and I'll drive around him. I'll show you about 35 potholes where I know exactly where they're at.
I was just asking you a question where you mentioned the pothole.
There's Coles Road, the road right out here. Choose Landing's got a lot on them. Down over in Good Intent's got a couple. Black Horse Pike's got a couple too. What's that? You got one too?
Gems, right in front of Gems.
Right in front of Gems, there's a big pothole. Anybody else know any where potholes?
Tom, maybe
Every road he named there was a county road.
Could you contact the county?
Yeah, I mean, if we can contact the county, I mean, I don't know what's going on with them,
They will contact the county.
Yeah, because it's been 6 months.
Thank you. Mr. Palador?
Good evening, Council. Ray Palador, Ariel. This question will probably be best directed at the engineer. I just wanted an update and status on Lake Renee. Have the bids all been accepted? Has one been accepted?
Well, we had a low bidder. We've asked to extend his prices. We're still dealing with one property owner. We need for easement for the sediment trap. I know the solicitor's office has placed a call on him. He was on vacation, the owner. And he's supposed to be back sometime before the end of this month. We're waiting for him to come back to respond to, I don't want to speak too far, but an offer was made to him. And he wants to look at it, discuss it with his solicitor, and get back to us at the end of the month. So that's what the holdup has been.
Are any of the details of this low bidder available to the public, especially those around the Lake Renee area? Obviously, you know what
Yeah, it's,
direction we're looking at.
I don't have it in front of me, but I can get you the information who he is.
Okay. You know what the community's basically looking for is that whether they're lowering the lake or they're going to drain the lake and the preservation of the fish and wildlife.
Right, of course. I can get you the name for that. If he lowers the lake, it'll only be slightly when I talk to him. He doesn't tend to drain the lake. But there may be some lowering it a little bit to allow him to work.
Yeah, they're in
But his intent is not to drain.
The bids are in my office.
It's public information.
More than welcome to review it, Ray, if you like.
The contract itself?
The
The
bid.
bids, but we haven't gotten a contract yet.
Hasn't been awarded because we're trying to resolve, it can't be awarded until we resolve the property issue. That's why the contractor has agreed to hold his prices for another 60 days beyond what he's obligated.
You can come into the clerk's office and Ray will show you the bids.
Okay. And we're still within the timeline, everything with finances is okay?
It's okay.
Okay, that's about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ray. Yes, ma'am.
The name is Patricia Klein, 1 La Jolla Lane in Terrestria. I have a concern, an erosion problem in front of my home. And what has caused the erosion problem, over 7 years ago, my railroad ties were damaged by the plows, of the snow plows. And I've been waiting they came out the township and removed the railroad ties, but no one replaced them. So now I have all the sand coming into the parking area. And I'd like to know, how can I get that fixed from the township?
Lenny, can you address
I'm
that? Review
gonna
it?
come out, take a look at it. I'm not aware of the incident with the ties, but we'll come take a look at it.
Yes, that's 1 La Jolla.
1 La Jolla. Okay.
Yes, in Terrestria.
I'll have someone come out and take a look at it.
I thank you.
No problem.
Yes, sir.
John Schmidt, West Township Avenue, Gloucester City. Here tonight on 2 issues. And before I start, when you guys, I think government officials are doing something right, I'll commend them. When there's something questionable, I'm going to call you out. So I don't want anyone to take offense. This is directed toward the solicitor tonight. My first concern I'd like to address is regarding Solicitor David Carlemere. After filing a series of open requests in Gloucester Township with multiple agencies, I found out that in addition to serving as the Township Solicitor, he also serves as Solicitor of Gloucester Township Fire Districts 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. After discovering that this, I contacted other fire districts and other municipalities similar in size to Gloucester Township. Obviously, there's small fire districts here, but size-wise, with the number of stations and everything. None of them have the same attorney as the municipality for 2 reasons. I got in a conversation with one of the administrators for about 20 minutes in the town in Camden County, because if they have to end up suing the municipality, there's a conflict of interest, as well as if the budget is voted down in the fire districts, which is similar to the school districts. What occurs is that the fire district then becomes, for you, the council, and the mercy of the council. Well, most likely the fire district solicitor will sit in. If, most likely maybe every 8 years, maybe a fire district budget goes down, you got to research, you got to advise, and then you guys discuss that you need advice from your solicitor, but your solicitor is also the fire district solicitor, so he kind of has a conflict of interest, incompatibilities of offices. And last week I submitted an ethics violation to the local finance board concerning a paid fire commissioner who is also a paid member of council. Not in this municipality, another municipality. And when I was there, I spoke to Nick Bennett from the local finance board, and I raised the issue of the solicitor here in Gloucester Township. And he paused for a moment and said, you know what, I don't know if that would be incompatible offices, like it seems like the council person and the paid fire commissioner holding those two, because it's never come before the local finance board, and he urged me to, encourage me to file an ethics complaint for them to open an investigation. So, personally, I do think it can raise an incompatibility of offices.
And I guess I'd like to ask the township, do you think, under current state ethics laws, or even the solicitor wants to respond, a conflict of interest, of incompatibility of offices, if that need may so arise down the line where a fire district budget is voted down, or there's a legal dispute between a fire district and the township for some reason?
Well, I without being averse or upon legal law of ethics, I would say that I have the utmost confidence in Mr. Carlemere and his service.
You're not answering my question.
I'm going to answer if you let me finish.
Well, could you stop the clock while you're answering then?
Don't worry, I will give you time. You don't have to worry
Okay.
about that. So I have the utmost confidence in Mr. Carlemere when those situations arise. I'm not an expert on ethics, so do I think there's something wrong with it? No, I don't think at this time there's nothing wrong. If there is something that comes in front of us that says it's wrong, then we will react appropriately. I mean, this council would never do anything unethical, but if that ever came up,
I don't
think it's
laughing
funny,
in my
Mr.
head.
Smith. I'm just trying to answer your question.
I'm laughing in my head. If there was a lawsuit, though, say the fire district sues the township, you have the same attorney.
We will take that up if that situation occurred. I don't know.
It's obviously not a conflict. If you were talking to someone from the local finance board who basically addresses conflicts of interest, if it was a conflict, you would have been told that immediately. I've represented fire districts in this town as well as other communities throughout Camden County my whole career, for over 30 years. It is not a conflict of interest, and until someone rules that it's a conflict of interest, I am permitted to do that by the canons that govern attorneys. If you understood the process of a budget review, you would also know that that's purely financial, no appeal process. It's the council has the last word. All they look at is the finances.
I appreciate that, and sorry for the outburst on my part.
For what it's worth, John, may I? I was going to say exactly what the solicitor said. When budgets are voted down, it comes to us. We look at the dollars, and we make a decision as to what we're going to cut. There's no legal question during that process. So I'm going to ask you, you're very well prepared. Tell me what the incompatibility of the offices are or positions.
This is, I haven't really terribly,
No, but
I think if you,
No, I'm going to cut you off.
I think the incompatibility is if there's a lawsuit.
Now, you're coming out here and you are pointing the finger at the solicitor, and you're saying you're saying there is an ethics issue at hand, and you are throwing a veiled threat his way about filing an ethics complaint. I have a problem with that.
Well, my next question then.
Especially since you don't have any response to my question about what you think the ethics problem
I think it is an incompatibility of office, Councilman.
Where is the
I think so.
incompatibility?
It's an incompatibility of office for a councilman in Pine Hill to serve as a paid fire commissioner and a paid councilman.
Where?
And I think
We're
it's a
not talking
conflict of
about
interest
that. You've
for
painted
fire
him-
district.
You've
and-
painted him
and
with a
solicitor.
broad brush. You've painted him with a broad brush. You've tied him to something that you do feel strongly about. And now you're saying, hey, I feel strongly about that one. You're lumped into it. And tell me.
Well, I came here to discuss that. I have a concern.
You criticized him. Don't you understand what you just did? This is a man who's worked very long for this town. He's worked hard for this town. You live in Gloucester City.
Okay. I want to move on to my second part here. Regarding, I've been going over local financial disclosure forms, different towns throughout the county. Was in Clementon last week, dealing with the issues, working very pleasantly with me. Going first off, Mr. Cardis, can I commend you because you're one of the best that I've seen in the county, that I've seen. So I think you should be.
In terms of what?
Filling out the financial disclosure statement properly. And my question is, I looked over Mr. Carlemere's form, and it states you have to do $2,000 or more of income And I don't see on here, and I believe Mr. Carlemere is the planning board attorney in Gloucester, no, sorry, Pine Hill, as well as the fire district commissioner in Pine Hill, but they're not listed on the form. I'm not sure if he submitted another form out of Pine Hill, but if not, just maybe to amend the form and refile.
Those appointments are to the law office, Carlemere and Rowan, and each Berlin, each fire district has a disclosure statement filed. Each planning board that I represent has a disclosure statement filed.
Now, the Summerdale?
And Somerdale also.
Because I got the roster and it did not indicate that you filed in Summerdale.
Yep, I filed in Somerdale.
I'll go back and check with Mr. Miller. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. The blue shirt.
My name is Don Choice, 10 Felicia Court, Ariel. This is my first time before this microphone, and I actually came here tonight loaded for bear, but I got my sails deflated. I'm actually here to laud some praise on Chief of Police Earl. There was an incident that happened on Saturday morning at the farmers market. I'm with a group called South Jersey Citizens. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. I was out there soliciting for my petition to stop pay-to-play in Gloucester Township. One of the, and I'm trying to think, what was it, safety? Special officer. Started a little fracas with me about I wasn't allowed to be there to do the petition. I argued back that it was my constitutional right to be there. It started a big thing. I ended up leaving very angry. And I said I was going to research it and find out what my rights were, which obviously my First Amendment rights is I can do this. He was very unknowledgeable of the situation. Tom Cronin and I both placed a phone call to the police department, and I have to say that they resolved this issue very, very quickly. I actually got a phone call this afternoon by Deputy Chief Harkins and Officer McHenry. And they apologized, and they said that this gentleman was definitely very, very misinformed, and he explained to me what the special officer does, and I was very, very pleased with the results. And I just want to thank the chief. You know, I think you guys followed up. You did a great job. Okay? That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
John Ersing, 18 Saltwood, and Ariel. I want to thank you guys for putting the hockey rink financing together a couple of years back, but there's one more thing I'd like out there, and all I want is a street light, right where you enter the complex. If you go out there at night, it's pitch black, and you might have 200 cars coming out of there with the 3 rinks, football, softball, and it's not a safe
I
situation.
ordered those lights over 4 months ago.
Okay.
I've emailed PSCD. Unfortunately, we don't have a whole lot of jurisdiction over them. It is in the works. It will eventually come. If you did notice this year, I redesigned the entrance into the park. We put reflective signs up so that at least you can see the arrows and all. But I do have a floodlight and a street light coming to light up that corner. It is coming.
That's all I wanted.
No problem.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Crum.
Good evening, Council. Tom Crone, right here in beautiful Gloucester Township, New Jersey. A little depart from my usual. I'm not going to do a history lesson and go through a whole thing and save that for the parking lot for Mr. Hutchison a little later on. And I want to depart from my usual. I'm not going to come up here and, I don't know, berate you. Had enough of that tonight inside. I get to actually come up here for a good thing. Actually, 2 good things, which is actually odd for me. So I get to be citizen, Tom, for a little bit right now, as opposed to political activist and pain in your butt, Tom. So the good thing is, I live in Spring. Mr. Moffa's gang came out and removed some, I guess, islands, concrete islands, and some of the trees got taken out, and the neighbors were a little less than pleased. We lost our trees, as you can well imagine. Talked to Lenny a couple weeks ago in the parking lot. I said, hey, can you help her brother out? Can we get some trees put back in? He said, yeah. So I went back, talked to the neighbors. They said, whatever he's got.
We just want trees put in, make it look nice, make the place, Lenny, he did a good job. So I'm here to actually say thank you, because I'm at odds with the administration on a fairly regular basis, but in a serious manner. If you do a good job, and I live here, I want to let you know you did a good job in that. That was I appreciate that. He talked to me in the parking lot for a few minutes. You guys need to set up a booth in the parking lot, because we do a little bit more business in the parking lot than we're really doing here. So it actually works out pretty good. But I do appreciate that, Mr. Mayor, the guy here. We'll do something. I'll beat you up later, because I don't want to. I'm going to give you equal opportunity with it. But today I got to come and say, Mr. Moffett, he really stepped up and said, hey, we're going to get this taken care of. The other thing is, Mr. Choice came up and spoke. There was a little issue on Saturday. We spoke to a couple of the officers. Sergeant Tyne was one of them. We spoke to and went back and forth. Chief Earl grabbed me on the way in tonight, and we talked. And we have a little overzealous, little undertrained, youthful individual who got himself a little worked up, and as young men will do, and we've all done. I'm a political activist. I'm a political operative. I make hay out of things like this. People pay me to do it. I will not do that here. That is not why I'm here. It's wrong. I'm the son of a police officer, brother of a police officer. It goes through the family. It's not something we do. And the one thing I did want to say, it's not really a negative, but this is a perfect example of why I, as a resident and a member of a political organization, will oppose a county-wide police department. This is a perfect example of why local policing works better, more efficiently, and more user-friendly than the county would ever begin to work. Now, we can talk about how the county is run as it is. It's not what we're here to do. Chief Earl, his staff officers, and the rest of his officers are exemplary. I know some will disagree, and that's fine. The world we live in. At this time, there was an incident. They investigated it. It turned out they were wrong. And in this day and age, to someone come back and say, you know what, we were wrong. And that's okay. I accept that and move on. There's no need to make a big deal about it. In fact, we'll make a positive thing out of it. We need to keep Chief Earl and his officers, canines, SWAT, everything in place in Gloucester Township, exactly where it belongs. That's not it. Thank you.
Mr. Cronin, that's one thing that you and I agree on.
Absolutely. I'm sure there's probably a few more, and if you want to get a Guinness after this, we can go and we agree on a couple other things, I'm sure, after we have a few of those. But I got to still be contrary, because that's kind of in my nature. So one issue, nice gentleman ahead of me brought up a light. I guess that's at the athletic facility. My son plays hockey there. I've coached hockey there with GTHA. Been involved with that for many years. One of the rinks has been shut down recently. They had to change the scheduling for the summer hockey. Turns out it needs to be resurfaced. I don't know if you're aware of that. If you are aware of that, it's concerning, I guess, to me as a parent, because they were on the deck shooting rocks at each other, not because little boys will do. It's the middle of the game. They're shooting chunks of concrete at each other because the concrete was coming up. It concerns me as a taxpayer, a resident, the whole thing. And then, we got to go back to me being the political guy going, it concerns me too. But what happened? I mean, do we know what happened with that and why the concrete had a failure, that it needed to be replaced or resurfaced?
I'll let our engineer discuss, because he knows better than I do.
Wonderful.
Yeah, the ring was surfaced, frankly, the surface where the weather was too cold. The contractor was trying to get it in early so the ring could come up to use. Any surface operation surfaced it, they acknowledged the problem. And they're out there fixing it now. It's not costing the township anything to do the fix.
Wonderful.
They made a mistake.
That was part of the warrant. I know it was supposed to last 20 years.
Yeah, you have a 2-year maintenance guarantee.
Okay.
It is, it'll get scuffed up over time and whatnot.
That's one of the 2 rings.
One of the 2 rings. The other ring was okay because they got it in earlier. This one that just got too late in the season, and they were trying to push it to get
Gotcha.
it complete.
So this was just, they made a mistake. Again, we're going to go back to the theme of my time here. They made a mistake, owned up to it, and it's not going to cost us, the taxpayers, or the GTHA or anything. They went ahead and fixed that. Wonderful, I appreciate that. I want to end on a high note.
You guys have been great tonight. I appreciate that. We can agree for once, Mr. Mayor.
I like citizen time.
Maybe we'll do a little bit more. I don't know if I'm happy with it, but we'll see what happens. Chief, again, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Stand-up guy, one of the best. My family are all police officers, and I know what it's like. The job's really bad. The job sucks. And people like you make it better for the rest of us. Lenny, tonight you're the good guy. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right, you guys all have a great rest of the night. You got beat up pretty bad tonight, so I want to stop here. So have a good night.
Thank you.
Next time, break though.
Maureen?
Maureen McLaughlin, 125 Empire. I was so close to getting out of here without asking a question, but I just have some follow-up questions on the hockey rink. You indicated that there was something wrong with how it was installed.
The surface course, yes. There was an effort to get everything complete early. We had a short time frame, so we opened up for use by the Hockey Association. And so there was a push on the contractor to get the surface done, if at all possible. He complied with that, put the surface on. As the weather was really getting too cold, it dropped later that night below the temperature recommended by the manufacturer. It never set properly, so it caused problems during the winter. So now he's out there this summer making repairs.
How is he repairing it?
But resurfacing.
Okay, but the concrete is actually...
Okay. The concrete was a surface course, the thinner surface course on the top end.
Well, Mr. Cronin had indicated that there are chunks of concrete. What is that from?
But they weren't big chunks of concrete. I don't know what the chunks
They're
are.
very small. I was out there, I looked at the rink myself. They're about the size of a dime. Biggest one, I think, was maybe a quarter.
Is it the surface, though? It's not the concrete?
It's not the concrete, it's the surface material
Like I don't want to call it rubber.
that the blue was applied to.
Okay,
One
because
ring-
my concern, you mentioned that we have a 2-year maintenance, and my concern is if it wasn't done properly, okay, it may be good for next year, but we have a defective rink now. I mean,
No, the base is good. It's just the surface course was wrong. The surface course was replaced. The base, the concrete base is fine.
okay, are they going to extend that warranty after they after they fix it?
Township hasn't accepted work yet, so the 2-year warranty hasn't started yet on any of them.
Okay. Okay, only because I was concerned, I mean, you're saying that they're dime-like, but my nephews all play hockey, and boy, when they shoot those...
It was unacceptable to
Okay.
us, that's why we
All right.
told them to come out.
Well, I just want to make sure that we're not down, out of luck a few years down the road when everything else is falling apart again, so, all right, I'll keep my eye on it. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Mr. President, can I just real
Sure.
quick?
I noticed one of our interns came in after we completed the program. So, Jasmine Robinson, if you could please come forward, I'd like to present you with our certificate, and also to thank you for the help that you have been in your internship program, and certainly wish you the very, very best. So, thank you.
Close the public portion. Polling of directors and council, please.
Mr. Massa?
Nothing to report at this time?
Mr. Lechner?
Nothing to report, thank you.
Chief Earl?
Nothing to report, thank you.
Mr. Carlemere? Mr. Cordis?
I too would like to thank the interns for their work here at the township. I know that my department has directly benefited from their being here at the township. I know other department heads have also experienced pleasurable outcomes because of the help. I see Eric in the back, and I want to thank him and appreciate their service.
Mr. Hutchison?
Briefly, I thank you all for coming out this evening. Mr. Schmidt, sorry, I want to be respectful, but I felt that your statement was more of an accusation, and I didn't think it was appropriate. On a different note, I recently went to Europe on a family vacation. Was in London during the riots, and the sense of being unsafe. It was kind of weird, and I really appreciate the level of protection that our police department provides in this town. And it was something I was thinking about while I was out there. Secondly, we went to Normandy, and I had the opportunity to stand in the waters off Omaha Beach. And I got to tell you, we really have to remember the sacrifices that our military back in World War I, World War II, Normandy, all the way up through and including current things going on today in the Middle East. I appreciate it. I know that we have some people in the audience today who have Navy SEALs of their children. I appreciate it. I think it's wonderful. Thank you.
Mr. Grabowski.
Again, thank the residents for coming out. Appreciate your comments and encourage everyone to step up and speak up. Thank you.
Mr. Schmidt.
I too would like to thank all the residents for coming out and staying. Thank you for your comments, and congratulations and thanks to the mayors and
Mrs. Genta.
I also would like to thank everyone for coming out. I'd like to especially thank Jasmine. I know you've been working so hard on helping us become certified, which on the 26th we should have everything in, so thank you so much for helping with that. I should sit here and be quiet, I know, but I'm going to say one thing because I believe that we had September 11th happen, and we had things that Mr. Hutchison just talked about, and I believe that people sometimes should be respectful and just, I've said before about being nice, and Mr. Hutchison just sat here and apologized to you, John, and I'm just going to speak to you as a person now, and I know probably I should not be doing this, but we can see everything up here, and you sit there, and even as he's saying he's sorry, you and your friend, you laugh and giggle and tackle us. And so I'm just going to ask you, because I think we have a really good town, and I don't see anybody else in my town doing that. So I welcome you to our town, but John, could you just please give us a little bit of respect? Give my council members a little bit of respect, because do you know how hard it is for us? And you're laughing now, so I'll just stop.
Are you going to let me respond?
No, let's just stop. I'm just asking people to be friendly and stop. Thank you. Have a good night.
No.
I just want us to be human and be friendly.
Mr. Bianchini.
He jumps down his work and he's supposed to think that.
I would ask that, I would like to thank all the residents for attending tonight's meeting. I do want to thank the mayor for providing the internship program, and thank all the interns for their hard work. I am fortunate that I get interns in my line of work, and they help you, and it's a learning experience not only for them but for the people that they're working with. So it's a great program. I commend you for doing that also. We had on the weekend had the honor of attending the opening of the new charter school here in Gloucester Township. There's people that were working very hard to put that together, and I congratulate them. The 911 issue was 10 years ago, and I think sometimes we need just to take a step back and remember how that day went. Fortunately and unfortunately, I had the opportunity to go up and volunteer during that time and walk and help individuals that were affected by that tragedy. And it left a very strong mark on my life. Helping an individual lost his wife on the 103rd floor of one of the towers. And he explained some of the trouble his son was having. his son literally called the police, 911, and asked them to search for his mother. And I can tell you, I walked around that whole day with a lump in my throat trying to help this gentleman navigate through all the agencies that he had to navigate through and try to help him. So I know it's 10 years ago, and sometimes we tend to forget what happened that day, but please remember it, and please pray for those families that lost a loved one. Pray for our young men and women who are protecting us. And boy, I appreciate everything that they're doing, allowing all of us to be here. Thank God for them. So with that, I wish everyone a good night and a motion to adjourn. All those in favor? Thank you.
This one's got this, and then we're ready.
Nice meeting you, sir.
You're a public servant. You're asking questions.
I mean, carry this around.
Right, I stay doing that very much. Look at that. They're doing they're having a private meeting in there.
Ryan, you can't go in there.
Yeah, Brian, stay out here. Sorry, boss. They say that about me all the time. They say that about me all the time, too. They're having a private meeting, Bob. Okay? Bumps. Thanks, take care. You always throw it at me, don't you? So intimidating as a bodyguard. What's that? So intimidating.
Well, it's sort of a friendly look on it. Why don't you take me
But I love when he gets filed out. I do. Because he doesn't need it. Yeah.